Welcome to my channel, Living Linux. Today I want to talk about privacy. The last couple of days, Apple has been in the spotlights because with their new iOS update, all the apps have to ask for consent of tracking of the users. Now, in itself, that is a good step towards protection of your privacy. And the last couple of years, Apple was also trying to present itself to the world as the protector of privacy. Now, I'm not really sure if it's any coincidence. So at the moment, Apple is being complimented that they are taking these steps towards more protection of your privacy. But it seems that there is another story that went a little bit under the radar, where it actually shows that Apple is not protecting your privacy. No, they are only protecting your privacy against parties like Google and Facebook. But they are not protecting your privacy against themselves. So I was really surprised to read the story that Apple is expanding its ad business with a new App Store ad slot. Now, in itself, selling ads doesn't necessarily mean that you are exposing the privacy of your users. For instance, there is a big difference between using Google as your search engine or DuckDuckGo as your search engine. Because DuckDuckGo will only show ads based on the search keywords that you use and not based on your user profile. Now, getting back to Apple on their new App Store ad slot. So already before this, you could buy ads based on specific keywords, just like DuckDuckGo does. But now they can already show ads even before you started searching. And this is what got me triggered, because that usually means that they will use things in your user profile to sell ads. Now, first I found this on TechCrunch. I also found something on the BBC website, and they tried to get a response from Apple on this topic, but so far no response from Apple on this topic. And actually I'm not surprised, because then they have to admit that they are actually exposing the privacy of their users, that they're actually selling the privacy of their users. Now, perhaps you want to see the actual proof. So, when you go to searchads.apple.com, there they will explain how these ads actually work. Well, I'm not going to explain everything, but when you go to advanced, and well, like I said, in itself, when it's triggered on keywords, then in itself, it's not a big thing. But here it comes. Refine your audience. Show ads to new or existing customers, and refine your audience by gender, age, and location. So that means that it's not only driven by keywords, it's also driven by your user profile. And that means that they are exposing your privacy. So is this something new? Well, actually, no, it's not new. Because I remember, and I wasn't really sure of the year, but apparently 2010, Apple already acquired a mobile ad company. And that was also back in the day when I think Google bought the biggest mobile ads company. And we all know and we all understand why Google became the biggest company for mobile ads. And there was one thing that probably triggered something with Apple, because as you can see, Google was the one that bought AdMob, and reportedly Apple was also trying to buy it. Because both Apple and Google, they realized that mobile ads was going to be huge. And already back in those days, you can see that Apple wasn't really concerned about privacy. They're primarily concerned with making money. And that in itself is not really a problem. I mean, like, almost all companies are more concerned with making money than being a good guy. But when you go back to, for instance, like 2019, when Apple tried to present itself as the protector of privacy, with the slogan, "What happens on your iPhone stays on your iPhone." Well, apparently that isn't true. And when you realize how much Apple knows about its users, then actually Apple should not use user profile data to sell ads. It simply doesn't add up. And I also know from the past that they were trying to get into the market of in-store tracking with their iBeacons. So when you look back at what Apple has done already in the past about trying to get a more detailed picture of their users, then I think Apple users should be really, really afraid about their privacy at Apple. So the question now is that now that they started selling targeted ads in their App Store, where will it show up next? And where is Apple going to charge companies to show ads, targeted ads, to their Apple users? So my conclusion is that Apple is not really concerned about your privacy. They were just annoyed that companies like Google and Facebook made a lot of money based on Apple users. And that probably made them very, very jealous. So I also think that this whole thing with the new iOS update, where people have to consent about tracking in the apps, that it was mainly to disrupt the revenue stream of their competitors like Google and Facebook, and that it has never been about protecting your privacy. So, to end this video, I would say, when you buy your next device and privacy is very important to you, then you can no longer buy any Apple products. And in the end, your privacy is best protected with Linux. But even with Linux, you still have to be very careful on which distribution you're going to use and which application. But in the end, don't trust Apple. Now they have shown their true face, and it's really, really ugly. So that's it for today, and hopefully my next video will be about Linux hardware, and that I don't have to discuss any companies that apparently in the end really are or really is a villain when it comes to privacy protection.